Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I thought today I would just take my ballpoint pen and get my sketchbook and we're just going to doodle together. Okay, so there's not going to be anything super serious. You can just see me build this creature up in real time, and I'll just talk about my design choices, the anatomy that I'm using, and how weird that we can make this critter as I'm doing so. Okay, so this is how I typically start one of these drawings. I hold my pen lightly, or pencil, whichever one you want to use. I hold it lightly, and to prevent blotching, so prevent the ink from falling out here, I just double check the pen that I'm about to use before I start anything. I feel like a lot of people complain about the pens that they use because it starts to bleed on everything and there's ink blotches. Hey, it's happened to me plenty of times throughout the years. There are some pointers. One, quit using crappy pens. Okay, it's your responsibility to get pens that actually work. Test them out. Secondly, it really doesn't depend on the brand that you use, but it's good to at least get used to a brand that you prefer. Let me explain why. So for me, I use Bic round stick. Okay, sometimes the ultra round stick grips that have like the nice little rubber, I don't know, some kind of material on the grip of it to help it from sliding, or to keep it from sliding. I've gotten used to it, and because of that, I have learned how to use the pen to the best of my ability, but also take advantage of what it has to offer. So everybody has a different type of tool that they like using. If you use a standard number 2 pencil, you know how to use that. You know how the graphite and the paper interact. Okay, and you get better by using those two things. So for me, Bic ballpoint does the trick. It may be different for other people. We've got a fun little creature here. See, that this is what happens, guys, when you just want to chill and draw. Okay, hopefully if you're checking out this channel for the first time, I want to welcome you. The YouTube algorithm brought you here for a reason. Whether or not you like seeing critters drawn, or you yourself want to become a better artist, hopefully I can help you with that. I have a lot of videos on this channel where I talk about thumbnail sketching, which is my favorite thing to do, and also creature design. I try to sprinkle in some nuggets of wisdom here and there from the industry, and having dealt with layoffs, dealt with the politics and getting rejected, and dealing with criticism. Like it's crazy out there. If you're trying to navigate that right now, if you got laid off recently, like I was laid off in 2023 or 2023. It sounds weird to saying 2023. It's 2023. But yeah, I got laid off, and people are still getting laid off. So I feel the pain. I've actually heard some stories. If you're listening right now and this has happened to you, I am so terribly sorry. But I've been hearing stories about companies hiring overseas, and they give the new employee a moving allowance. They spent the moving allowance. They moved their entire families over there, and then they laid them off when they were in that country. And then they expected the employee or ex-employee to pay back the travel loan. That's insanity. Why would you do that to somebody? So if that has happened to you and you're listening to this right now, I can't even imagine what you've been through. I'm so terribly sorry. If any of you have any layoff stories or getting fired stories, because it's the same thing, please comment below. I am officially opening up the comment section for this video to vent about being laid off. Okay, and of course talking about creatures and whatever else you want to talk about. That's fine. I do read all the comments, by the way, folks. I do. Good and bad. Even you trolls out there. The thing about me, though, is I will call you out. So if you troll my channel, if you troll anybody on my channel, I try to treat everybody like a family here. I will call you out, just so you know. All for fun though. But back to this creature. Whenever I'm sketching with a pen especially, the actual lines are going to come out a lot thinner than a typical pencil, and it doesn't matter what pencil I'm using. So what I try to do is I try to take advantage of the layering effects that I can have, as in like stringing together lines until they overlap. I've been asked quite often, how do I get such lightly faded lines close together with a ballpoint without that, the ink flowing out the front of it and ruining everything? Without trying to sound cheeky, I just don't press hard. And I achieve this simply by not gripping the pen tightly at the front, which makes me want to put in details. But I use my pinky right here to help lift my palm off of the page, and it keeps everything nice and loose. Now, you've heard me throughout the past 2 years talking about draw with your shoulder. Really, that just depends on how big the drawing is. If you're drawing in a small area, drawing with your shoulder to take care of small marks, it's kind of difficult. Okay, I totally understand. But if it's these types of lines where you're maybe adding in a feature on a character or a creature where the lines are going to be long, then yeah, you can get away with using the shoulder. So the other thing is, those of you that are new and you're wondering why I'm talking about using the shoulder helps keep your arm locked in to produce nice looking lines. Like if you wanted an idiot's guide to drawing, that's what it is. You use your shoulder. If you get close up, you want to do some neck details or some body details and whatever, yeah, then you can torque your wrist, and if it's a slightly larger area that you have to take care of, then yeah, use your elbow, and you can bend your elbow, and then you won't get too much banana shapes in there. I still don't know what this creature is, and that's the fun part. I'm trying to draw this thing as I'm speaking to you all. By the way, thank you all so much for just stopping by and watching me doodle this thing, so hopefully you can learn something. I hope that you got your sketchbooks out. Something that I read the other day on my channel, somebody commented that they were in their late 70s and they're drawing, and I'm helping them reinvigorate their passion for drawing, and it just really warms my heart when I read stuff like that. My goal with this channel was to teach people how to draw quickly and to not sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you if you're doing something right. I'm going to call people out, and I'm going to tell you if you suck. I fear that not enough people tell the truth when it comes to critiquing people. It might be a little harsh. I get it. But it's tough love. It's not to make fun of anybody. Speaking of that, my previous video that I made, the 7 beginner mistakes for creature designers, that has generated quite a buzz. Mainly because my comment about the mentally challenged cat running through the neighborhood. I still chuckle at that. I can't. Sorry, that's an outtake. I'm going to leave that in there. But anyway, let me explain something to you guys. So that comment I made about the mentally challenged cat in your drawings looking like one, that was by no means directed towards people. So I apologize if people took that the wrong way. Be like, come on, folks. People get offended nowadays if you sneeze incorrectly. Okay, and that was not directed towards any human being. But let's face it, like, everybody here right now that lives in a neighborhood, you know what I'm talking about. There's always that one cat, that one weird cat, outdoor cat that nobody knows who owns it, and it just looks weird. It's seen some things. Okay, it's kind of sad in a way. I love animals. I like cats. I like dogs too. It's funny, my 2 boys want me to get a pet lizard, and I'm like, well, if I had to get a pet lizard, it would probably be a bearded dragon. I heard iguanas were terrible, even though they're awesome looking. Iguanas are awesome looking. So I need to start thinking about how this body's actually made up, because I'm starting to put lines in there, and I need to make sure that this anatomy is functional. So what I'm going to do is put a center line down where I believe the belly should be. Have a big, nice sphere for the overall abdomen and whatever else is going on in there. The legs are tucked in close to one another. Might as well just give a little lesson on weight distribution here, so you can see, let me move this up a little bit, so you can see how this crazy looking thigh, and then you got your knee, okay, and then the calf is relatively tucked behind where the belly is. Then you got your ankle, and then of course you got your tarsals coming down here. So notice how this is coming out at an angle. So what I have to do is I'm going to make the other leg not doing exactly the same thing, but almost. So I want to add some asymmetry to this. Alright, so maybe this creature is built like a really crazy looking kangaroo. So see the taper going in like this. What's happening is you have this nice center, almost like a triangle. Okay, a nice even triangle here. You got a good strong stance with the legs coming out, and then you have the center of gravity directly in the middle. You put the little lines there. Okay, and then this belly is actually going to be in front of that leg. I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. It's got really tiny hands. Of course, it's 3 fingers, so not 2, so there's no T-Rex going on there. It could be an allosaur, but I'm not drawing a dinosaur, so it's dinosaur-ish, but not a dinosaur. I was talking to my friend the other day, and he's a really big horror movie buff. I'm just really surprised that nobody has gone out on a limb and just made a rated R dinosaur movie. You know, there have been movies where they've shown dinosaur creatures and it was violent and everything, but nothing straight up horror, and I think we need one. I mentioned in my previous video that I have not seen the new Jurassic Park. I have not. I'm pretty excited about it though. I remember seeing the very first Jurassic Park in the theater. I was 13 years old and my sister was 11. I think our dad took us. And I'll never forget when that T-Rex came out on screen. I was in awe. It still looks good. Still looks good. 32 years later, man, it just still looks good. It's crazy. All right. I can't believe it's been that long. Wow. Makes me feel kind of old when I say, hey, when I was 13, I saw the first Jurassic Park. And these movies that we're seeing right now, these days, all of you youngins out there, you're going to start thinking you're old. You know, in 20 years when we're going to look back on, you know, Jurassic Park Rebirth and all the horror movies coming out. That's all of them. Okay, there we go. So you can see that I'm coupling together some dark lines, some medium lines, and some some rather light ones, just some free floating ones that are coming around here. I think this thing needs a tail, so let me wrap a tail around here. I don't know how well that's showing up on the screen. I think it's okay. So what I like to do at this point is, once I get enough detail in the face region, and also if I want to do it in the claws and the arms just to show where that is, I like to take my pen and just lightly brush over some value. This is that trick, everybody. It just comes with practice, years of practice with using pencils and pens, but the pressure in which I can release and also apply to this is really important when it comes to pen work. Okay, if you're experienced with the ballpoint pen, comment below with your own tips. You're helping aspiring artists too. It's not just me and my videos. Okay, there are a lot of really, really talented artists out there that watch my channel and you comment, and you have no idea how helpful your comments are. And speaking of comments and being helpful, I encourage everybody, regardless of your skill level, to join our Creature Design Workshop Discord. It's a very bustling community. We have, I don't know what it is at now, like 8,000 members, 7,000, 8,000. It's growing every day. We have monthly creature design challenges based on a cool brief that me or the admins give, and everybody can participate if they want to, and we vote to see who goes to the next round in order to be voted on for the finals. So it's a lot of fun. It's like a tiered process. It helps you stay in the loop with creature drawing, character drawing, but also it helps you get better too. Because not only are you with like-minded people, you are holding yourself accountable. Okay, if you see somebody that's better than you, that's healthy competition. All right, it's very healthy. There we go. We're having fun. I love doing this stuff. I love drawing. Just drawing it's one of the most therapeutic things you can ever do. One of the most therapeutic outlets. We all have those outlets too. Rock climbing, hiking, just hiking alone too. Hope you're safe. Those hikers out there, comment below if you hike too. But just be safe, especially in the summer months. A lot of people go missing in the Rockies and Joshua Tree and rugged areas. Death Valley. I don't know why anybody would hike in Death Valley right now anyway. I think on a cool day it's 107 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm having a blast here. So, Creature Design Workshop Discord, but also the sign-up period for my online course, Creature Design for Film and Games, has been extended for the summer term. All right, so jump on that. Visit the link in the description below. The spots definitely are limited. We cap the classrooms at 20 students, no more. So they fill up pretty fast towards the end of the sign-up period, and CGMA has extended that. So the link is in the description below for that. It's an 8-week course on how to design creatures with minimum skill level. We do require you to at least know a little bit about concept art in order to come in. But just to give you a rundown of what the 8 weeks are like. First 2 weeks, reference gathering and thumbnail sketching. Okay, so if you're already out of your comfort zone by doing those, congratulations, you're not the only one. We're going to open doors for you as far as concept art goes and being able to do this stuff. Week number 3, we start to put the stuff together. So week 3 through 6 is important. We do skeletal structures, so we learn about anatomy. We find the animals on Earth that most closely represents the animals that we want to invent and to design for the class. We work on the skeletal structures, and one of the most important things we do is we work on functional features. So those of you drawing right now, you have something really cool and it's kind of confusing. Write down, seriously, literally, write down some ideas right next to your beast or your character, whatever you're sketching. Because what that does is it keeps everything raw, keeps it in front of you, but also it's like having an outline before you write a novel. It just helps remind you of why you're making the creature that you are. Okay, and it also helps the design process too, so you're not just designing on the fly all the time. All right, it's starting to fill up. It's kind of fun. I'm going to move it down here a little bit. By the way, I have a huge apology for everybody. Okay, it's in the form of my camera. So I take full responsibility for not realizing that all these videos I've been drawing, it's been tilted like this. So what it's doing is it's skewing you guys, skewing your viewing of where the center line is and everything. I can almost imagine all of you out there right now are watching my videos and you have to tilt your head in order for this creature to be upright. I am so incredibly sorry. So I'm going to have all drawings sit like this now. I am going to be working on a new setup where I'm going to take the camera and hopefully mount it so it can show directly over the sketchbook. Like I said, I read all comments. Try to be civil, folks, please. By the way, the other thing that I want to talk about as I'm doodling this beast is if you feel like you're just not improving and you're about to give up on drawing, ask yourself why you love drawing to begin with. All right? I know some of you lost your will to pick up that pen or pencil and sketch. I just want you to know that your ability to draw is in there. You just have to get up and do it. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna start to put some finishing touches on our little scribble right here. There's some areas right here where I could probably go back and change it if I wanted, maybe digitally paint over it and stuff. I know that in the past I've talked about showing you guys how to paint, how I do that stuff for games and film. My intention with that was never to get into so much, never to go really in depth about digital painting, because that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about traditional sketching. I think you guys have picked that up by now. I get some pretty oddball requests too. Stuff to draw. Some of it's pretty good. There's just been so many suggestions over the past 2 years that I've looked at all the stuff that I've put down on paper, and I'm trying to revisit some of those ideas. Some of you guys have some great ideas. I'll be going back into my Pokemon sketches, where I just make the Pokemon characters super evil. You know, it's a lot of fun doing that. Here we go. I'll just kind of scrape in some lines there. Hey, why don't we put some pebbles? Maybe indications of some ground, maybe some plants right there. Not thinking too hard. There we go. Let me tilt this up a little bit so you can see. Just a crazy little beast. This thing can probably, I don't know, probably the size of a small dog, or it could be the size of a human. Who knows? Use your imagination. But I want to thank everybody for watching me doodle this. Hopefully you learned something as you've listened to me talk about my drawing and my process and everything. I appreciate all of you. Okay. Until next time. Peace out.